Province is getting ready for its elective conference this weekend. Well, you've heard just how it's important, but it hasn't started yet. There's been a delay. The registration process there at the Moses Mapita Stadium still underway. Meanwhile, we know that a lot is at stake in KwaZulu-Natal, and the outcomes will impact, of course, the ANC's elective conference come December. That's the National Elective Conference. Let's discuss what the significance is of this weekend's provincial conference in KZN with Zakhele Ndlovu. Zakhele, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. When we hear an NEC leader like Nomvula Moyane just saying now in the bite that we've played that it's important to ensure that in KwaZulu-Natal the ANC reconnects with the community, does it suggest that they've lost the connection?
Yes, you could make a strong argument that the ANC has somehow lost touch with the masses, and you could tell by looking at the kind of support they've been getting in the last couple of elections, be it local government elections and provincial elections. So they have not done well, and I think that they are realizing that they are on the verge of losing power. If you look at what happened at the last local government elections, they could not get the percentage to win outright, so they had to get support from another party to regain control of a win.
How do we interpret her comment that it's important for to reposition the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal? What could that mean, to reposition the party in the province?
I think maybe what she means is that they have to try and regain the trust they have lost. Clearly, some voters are no longer happy with the ANC. Some of them decide to stay away and not vote at all, and maybe a few vote for the opposition. So I think that she is expressing the concern of the ANC. And trying to send a message that it's not going to be business as usual, that they're going to try and respond to the concerns of their voters.
Yeah, the unity topic keeps coming up now and again in most of these types of conferences by the governing party. Is the ANC in KZN united?
It is not united at all. It used to be, you would recall that when Jacob Zuma was the president of the ANC and the country, ANC in KwaZulu-Natal was very much united. And then after Jacob Zuma left office, we began to see divisions. And these divisions are very strong now. I mean, KZN has got 11 regions, I believe, and out of the 11 regions, only, 9 considered to be controlled by the faction that is associated with former President Jacob Zuma. So, and even within those regions, there are now divisions. I mean, if you look at Etewini region, even though the RET faction won in the regional conference, but there are signs that there are some divisions in the lead up to this provincial conference. So you could clearly see that the ANC in KZN is no longer as united as it used to be. And obviously there are many factors that contribute to that. I mean, as they say in politics, you could say someone is your friend today and then tomorrow it's another story.
Tomorrow is another story. Will tomorrow be a different story, though, for the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal when it comes to leadership? Sihle Zikalala is currently the chair. He's got his own slate that include the current secretary, Mdumiseni Ntuli. But we're seeing even a businessman like Sandile Zungu raising his hand to say he wants to play a political part in that province. How significant, therefore, is the issue of leadership going forward for the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal?
I think it's very important, particularly the ANC is going to contest national and provincial elections in 2024. So it's going to be very important to forge some kind of unity. So whoever emerges as the leader of the ANC has to be someone who is able to convince the different factions within the party to vote for it in 2024 and not see a repeat of what happened last year in the local government elections. My sense is that the incumbent, Sihle Zikalala, at this point stands a much better chance of winning. And I'm saying this because those who are challenging him are not united. So if you had one candidate challenging him, it would have been a different story. But now you have NUMSA Dube, the finance MEC, and then you have Sandile Zungu, who's a businessman, also challenging him. So that puts Sihle Zikalala in a stronger position to retain his position as chairperson of the ANC.
Finally, very briefly, Zakhele, what's the significance of the fact that a businessman like Sandile Zungu has put his hand up?
Look, I think the ANC needs people like Sandile Zungu, so some, professionals, people who are professionals. But I seriously doubt if he stands any chance right now because, he hasn't been, campaigning, fighting hard to win this election. And then, of course, the fact that you have NUMSA Dube also challenging. So if at least he was the only one who was challenging Sihle Zikalala, probably it would have been a different story. Look, let me also point out that just because he may be perceived as a successful businessman doesn't mean that he would make a great politician. I mean, you think of Donald Trump, he was an okay businessman. I wouldn't say successful, but okay businessman. But we saw that in politics, for lack of a better word.
Different story altogether. Different story. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Zakhele Ndlovu, with some of your political analysis and insights about particularly the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal as the party is gearing up for its elective conference.